shit. Did you turn that?
So we're talking about bowling now. Your headphones are off. What are you doing, man?
I didn't do shit. You turned something all the way down.
Did I turn it too low? Maybe.
I don't know.
Is it better? I hear you
I
well.
can't hear anything.
Oh, that's why. Because you plugged it in.
I plugged it into what?
Into 2. There.
What was it supposed to be plugged into?
3.
Why? What difference does that make?
2 is the one that was a little fucked up.
So what? Okay.
The audio jack is a little messed up on 2.
So hold on before
All right.
our special guest gets here. Okay, so I just told you that I have to be at a bowling alley tomorrow for a charity event, and you said you should have told me I've got 20 bowling balls.
Yeah,
which I said.
I've got a few.
So what good would that do me? 20. First of all, my original smartass point was okay, you have 20 bowling balls.
That's the way we get
I
down.
only bowl with one. So what difference would it make?
Well, I don't know. It's the same as how many baseball bats you got.
One.
Bullshit. You've got. I bet you've got. I bet if I walk around this house, I can find 20.
I've got one wood that I use. The other 2 I've given to my nephews. I only
so
had
because
one
you're
at a
not
time.
playing. But when you were playing, how many did you have?
One.
You
Are
were
you
that.
shitting me? In college,
You were
I had
that
one
kid.
bat.
Are you kidding?
Dude, I was good enough. I didn't need it.
You were.
anymore.
So you were that kind
You
of
need
good.
to see the videos.
Right.
Hey,
Google
do
me.
you want me to call? Do you want me to call Sports Center?
Yeah, I kind of do, because you know how many bats I've got at my house? I bet I've got 30.
I mean, I've got a ton of them laying around, but they're all older and shit. They're not the one.
They use if you have the skill, it doesn't matter. Bring me a broomstick, I'll hit a single.
I just rolled.
That's
my
how
eyes.
that
I
shit.
just hit the eye roll there. For a fucking
That's how that
pitcher.
shit goes
A
down.
pitcher telling me
Right.
that he could hit.
Yes.
You know what? You may turn these. Can you turn this up just a little bit in my ears?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm screaming into this mic now. All
Is
right.
that better?
Yeah. Did it sound all right? Do I sound all right with you?
Well,
Because mine was not until you start singing.
right.
No, but anyway, back to the point. So then you said, "What do you mean? Some of them are right-handed because you're left-handed." And I said,
Right.
What difference does that make?
Well, you do see the thing kind of hook as it goes down, right?
I mean, so what? You can. I mean, if your hands, my left hand, I don't have 3 fingers glued together and one off like I'm giving somebody the shocker. I would imagine it's the same. What is the difference? Why would there be a difference in?
Well, number one, you're wanting the ball to turn a different way.
So it's spinning. It does nothing to. Well, so, if this was a court of law,
like I said, because we're talking physics now, we're not just talking rolling a ball. Now you want it to. It works like a top. Is how a bowling ball functions. Okay.
Okay.
And you know when you spin even like a quarter, but a top. If you think of a top, you know it wobbles for a little while,
Right.
and then when it gets slow enough, it just falls over. Right.
Okay.
That's the same premise on what a bowling ball hooks with. It starts at that wobble phase,
Okay.
and then when the top would fall over, the bowling ball hooks.
Get at. If anybody out there that listens to this and knows physics, I know my brother could probably answer this. Hell, the guy that's coming over to get on this may be able to answer this. I call bullshit.
You have no idea. And every bowling ball, that point is at a different way, at a different level. It's crazy.
What? Based on your swing, basically? Your arm swing?
Yeah, how much rotation you put on the ball, blah, 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 blah.
Get
Yeah.
Get it.
The tilt, the revolution, everything, the speed, it all factors in.
So why do you need 20? I mean, the lanes
Because
don't
you just,
change,
as
do
you
they?
do something, you just collect bowling balls, which is what I do. I mean, it's not, I've got 20 different bowling balls for
Man,
20
no,
different things.
the chicks
I
are
just don't get rid of it. Oh,
you're
yeah, the
beating chicks off
yeah,
with a stick.
right. Beating off is the operative part of that.
Who was Bill Murray in that bowling?
Yeah, Ern McCracken. Big Ern.
Big Ern McCracken.
Yes.
When he's doing the commercial for the boys, Big Brothers and
Right.
shit. And he's standing behind the kid's mom. So anyway, to bring the group up to speed here, you heard the first part of what we hope to be a guest on the podcast this evening. So I'll give a little bit of backstory, and we'll probably repeat it when he gets here. But I called Kyle and said, "Hey, Kyle, I've got a guy that I grew up with. That's a really smart guy, but he's got some great stories, some interesting stories, and he can also give a peek into the background in which I grew up, which there's some good stories there too. I mean, I did lose the tip of a finger in a fort building episode when I was 6, and this particular fellow was right there. So I'd love to hear his side of it because we've really never talked about it. My brother says one thing happened. He's the one that cut my finger off. I think something else happened, and this guy has.
He would know. He would be the defendant. He would be the third to sway it one way or the other.
He'd be the secret witness that probably
made
my brother go to jail if this was the case.
Right. Well, then maybe we could hold court later tonight.
But the best part is, so most people that get on the podcast come to the basement here, and this guy asked us to come to his house, and because he was dating a chick that's a little bit Looney Tunes, I guess.
Love it.
And he texted me a little while ago and says, "Hey man, I'm gonna have to call into the show because the cops are here at his house." And we said, "Well, we'll come over. That's all right." And he said, "No, they're gonna be here for a while." So what you heard on the phone was us contacting him to see if he was ready to go. And you heard, if you didn't hear the beginning, go back and listen to it. It kind of sets up what we're going to be talking about tonight. But I'm sure we will come back as soon as he gets in touch with me here. We're going to come back and we're going to bring him on. So stick with us.
So my question now is: we're saying that he has recently
serial psycho date,
right? Have you ever dated
me? Crazy?
Kind of a nut job, or were you ever the nut job?
Man, so I guess I dated a couple crazies. I dated one that, well, you know what?
Did you seek them out or do you attract them?
No, I don't think. Man, you put me on the spot with that. I don't know if I've ever been with kind of a nutball. And there may be friends that listen to this and go, "Dude, seriously, you don't remember?"
Yeah, you don't remember Janine,
right? Right. No, my biggest thing was I couldn't stand when you'd be dating somebody, and maybe this is something to do with me. You'd be dating somebody, and then all of a sudden they don't answer, they ghost, right? They go away.
Oh, right.
I thought that. I mean, these kids today think that's a big deal. That shit happened. That happened 25 years ago. I mean, I always thought that was mean. I didn't do that to people. I would tell them, "Listen, really not interested." You know what? I'll tell you a good story before he gets here. Okay. So when I was single, and I was in the medical field.
All stories are when we were single, just so you know.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I would go into these ORs, to cover these cases and stuff. And people were always trying to fix me up. Well, I was in this one case, and this will lead me to another point. I was in this one case, and there was an older lady circulating. So the circulating nurse is the nurse that opens the stuff onto the sterile field for the surgeon.
Okay.
Like if you need a scalpel,
right,
she'll go get it. It's obviously sterile. She opens the package. Everybody on the other side of the sterile cloth takes it out and then puts it down. So nothing ever touches the sterile field.
Okay.
The circulator is the person that is getting the supplies if the surgeon needs something. So this lady was probably in her 60s, right? And I'm standing behind the table kind of watching the procedure because they're using a couple of my anchors. And about halfway through this procedure, this older lady, this nurse comes up and says, "Hey, are you single?" And I thought, you got to be shitting me. This is the kind of vibe I put off.
Bring it on, lady.
I'm putting off the vibe to the elderly. Like I may get to ride in this girl's, hover round.
Right.
So I said, yeah.
Well, yeah. Right. There's only one answer. Yes.
And she said, "Because I think you'd be perfect for my granddaughter." Now I'm thinking, okay, all right.
Granddaughter.
So she's 60. I was 20. I was 26. So
okay.
I mean, she's 65, maybe. I don't know. Old enough to have a granddaughter that was 22 or 23 at the time.
Okay.
She said, "Well, let me tell you a little bit about her. She played tennis at an NAIA school. And have you ever seen tennis players that are unfit or anything?
No such thing.
So your first reaction what my reaction would be, ooh, nice. Yeah. And she's a nurse. dynamite.
So it means probably in shape
Right. And she
and
went,
relatively intelligent.
it's smart, in shape,
Right.
athletic, into athletics,
Right.
would go to a game. So I'm going with
and
it.
an appropriate age.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I'm 26. She's 23 or 4.
Right.
So I text her, and I'm like, hey, do you want to meet? And I always met for lunch. I think we've discussed this, or breakfast or whatever. And it was a Sunday, and I said, well, do you want to meet for lunch on Sunday? And she said, well, I've got to go to church in the morning, which is another
And
good
you said,
for me.
so do I,
I said,
right?
me too. So this is really shaping up to be pretty sweet, I think. So we meet at Shapiro's downtown Indianapolis. You know where
Right.
that is.
Oh, yeah.
Shapiro's is a Jewish delicatessen where the front of the building and the side of the building is all glass, right?
Yes.
So you can see everybody walking by.
Right.
So I get down there first, and it's like noon, and I'm watching all these people walk by. All these people.
And just who's likely.
That's it.
Right.
I'm doing the, nice. This could
Right.
be good.
Right.
No, that wasn't her. Oh, okay, here we go. This could be her. That wasn't her.
Uh-huh.
So I'm waiting there for about 10 minutes, and I'm playing this little game, with everybody that walks by, and all of a sudden I spot somebody crossing the street, and it was so not what I was expecting that I didn't even put her in the game. I was like, nah, that ain't gonna be her.
Uh-huh.
This girl is on the thicker side.
Uh-huh.
Not tennis physique
Right.
at all.
Right.
And I'm like, well, that's not her. So I just kind of, and then the door opens behind me, and I'm like, no way. And I turn around, and it's her.
Yeah.
And she we make that awkward eye contact like at a blind date.
Right.
You, me, you. Like at,
Right.
at the Roxbury.
And you're, yeah, right.
And I'm like,
no, it's not me. It's not me.
You gotta be shitting me. So she comes over and we introduce, and it is her. It's her. And my first thought is, where did you play tennis, dude? I mean, was this doubles or triples? I mean, I can't see this person bouncing around a tennis, a tennis facility. I was mind boggled. I mean, and this is a great reason why you don't do dinner or anything like that. You do a lunch because you're committed to 40 minutes, hour tops. And I'm
Now, hold on. Was just by chance was her name Marla Hooch? What a hitter!
That's the greatest. Hey, well, she's good. Why aren't you putting her on the team? Have you seen her? No, I mean, you know what? She was pretty.
You are such a superficial prick.
I would have found this one on a Carnival Cruise Line for sure. Playing tennis on the Carnival Cruise Line. But I mean, in all honesty, she was nice. She was cute. She wasn't like, it wasn't anybody. But
So it wasn't Marla Hooch.
No, but it was.
She was related.
It was.
That's Marla's cousin.
We wouldn't have been boxing in the same weight class. We'll put it that way.
She would have outkicked her coverage.
Probably,
Be with a fellow like
That
you.
sounds so awful.
You are a good looking son of a bitch. I totally agree.
Every mirror I walk by tells me that, Kyle. So I was at a meeting today, and I'm going to finish that story, but I was at a meeting today, and what was that? We were talking about we got an 80s theme for that bowling thing tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody's like, one of the guys there, hey, why don't you dress up like Miami Vice? I said, man, I've got a white jacket. I said, all you need to do is get some jeans and some. I said, I've got the whole outfit. I'll bring it. And somebody said, well, if you've got it, why don't you wear it? And I said, well, because I get really tired of breaking up marriages.
Right. It's a curse.
Straight faces all the way across the room,
Right.
like nobody. We've talked about it. That drives me nuts. That was funny. I was straight faced. Crickets. It was crickets, man.
The only thing is, I know it gets to you, but to me, sometimes I think it's hysterical. My favorite is when only one person gets it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best. And then you get to share that look. You will like, ha, 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 ha.
Right.
And then everybody else is oblivious. And then I get to say something smart. That's like, read a book, you bunch of doofuses. Watch a movie.
One movie,
Right.
and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's okay. So we're at Shapiro's, and I pay for lunch and everything, and we both kind of figure out that this proper. I mean, I was nice. But my point is, I actually, my wife was a blind date, which at that point I was almost, and I've told that story, I believe, where she walked in and it was December and she was layered. Like she had like 4 jackets on.
Right.
And I had the same, I went, you gotta be kidding me. And as she started, like, she took her big jacket off and then her fleece and then her sweatshirt. And I'm like, God, she walked in like the Michelin Man. And I thought, you got to be shitting me. And as she gets down, we joke about it now. And I'm like, why would you walk in on a first date?
Just to see your reaction.
What? Maybe.
Right.
And I was probably jaw on the floor. Not again. But
Again.
I couldn't understand. I can never understand why the people that tried to set me up, my opinion of me and what I was looking for and the way other people must see me.
Right.
And this sounds awful. This sounds so superficial and so awful.
It does
But
sound awful.
I mean, I've got some ugly friends and I've got some good looking friends. I would never take I would never put a friend of mine in a position where he would have to be, you always surround yourself with uglier people.
Right. Isn't that where you stand out?
I would never put them in that position where they're the uglier person or they think they have a shot with somebody that I introduced them like, man, that girl was hot. I go, yeah, she didn't think
She
you
will
were.
never talk to you again,
She'll
ever.
never talk to me again. I set that up. So
I don't know that I've ever really tried to set anybody up because, and I go the opposite. Once I get to really know somebody and I like them,
right,
they become much better looking in my eyes. I know that, and I know and I'm probably being way too serious about it, but I know that I do that.
Well, do you not watch Love is Blind on Netflix?
No, I do not.
My wife watches that, and what they do is they put you in a room. You do all your dating without seeing people. And the premise is you're going to fall in love with their spirit.
Right. Or the fake person that they're
Pretending
trying to be.
or
Right,
trying
right.
to become
I
famous
portray.
with.
Yeah.
Right. The only problem with that is attraction still has something to do with it. I mean,
absolutely.
You can think somebody's, oh my God. And I did. I mean, honestly, that tennis player, I was to a point because we talked about 2 weeks before consistently, and I was like, man, if she's just, if she's
a 5,
if
she's
she
in.
doesn't show up, with half a leg and a hair lip,
Right.
I'm good. And it also worked out of my favor because the visual I had talking to her
Right.
was one way, and then
And then what'd you do?
and that makes it worse. Sometimes
You look like Alice the Goon from the Popeye cartoons.
hey, you guys!
Yeah,
It's like
right.
Sloth from the Goonies.
I love you, Chunk.
You're coming to live with
Sloth
me.
love Chunk.
You're coming to live with me. But I don't even know how we go. Oh, you asked me about psychos and all that, and no, I don't know if I dated psychos. I never. You know what I did? But I can't really get into it. It wasn't that bad.
Because I know her. She lives next door and she listens to the podcast.
She listens.
Nobody listens.
You'll know.
You're a liar.
You'll know exactly. No, she'll know exactly who she is. That's completely untrue. But what about? I mean, you've shared some interesting dating stories.
I've had some interesting dating stories, but this will sound like self-deprecating, but I think everybody that has gotten rid of me in whatever fashion they've done is pretty happy about it. I don't think anybody's sitting around going, "Oh, I wish he was back." I don't think that's the case at all.
So
I am not rainbows and puppies. I tell that to everybody. I mean,
how would you describe yourself then if you're not rainbows and puppies? But I mean,
I'm a pain in the ass, is what I. Yeah,
like
I really
how?
am.
You're high maintenance.
To a degree, yeah.
Not like you'd go on a Carnival cruise.
I would go on a Carnival cruise. I would have so much fun on a Carnival cruise. No, I'm a pain in the ass because I need a lot of reassurance.
Oh, you need constant.
Not constant, but I need an amount of it. And
I like your shirt.
Thanks. See, now we can date.
You match. He's like, "Will you marry me?"
Right.
My first 4 wives. That's how.
Right. They never said any of that shit to me ever.
You smell good. Will you marry me?
Yeah, boner. No, and I know I get in my head real bad, and God, do we want to go down this road? Battle with depression, low self-esteem. I got it all, baby.
So you're a whole bag.
Oh, I'm a whole bag. Yeah, I'm a whole bag of shit.
Well, at least you I mean, you could talk about it. I mean, a lot of people don't.
Well, otherwise, what's your alternative? Eat a bullet? Well, yeah,
right. We'll talk about that. We've got a guy.
Well, we can't. Right, we will talk about that soon. But I can't. I've got too many responsibilities,
right.
And that's how I see it. I wake up in the morning and go, there are too many people reliant upon what I do day to day. I don't have time to do that. I can look in the mirror and want to bust it into a million pieces, but there's shit I got to do. So get up and go do it.
Right. I would not get that from you. I mean, you seem halfway put together to me.
I'm 2 seconds away from just crying, laying on the floor, fetal position.
Yeah, he had to take his meds right before we started.
Right before.
No, I had a guy the other day actually ask me, and this is what's funny, because I don't know if I play mental games, but I play to what people believe I am, right? So a lot of people
I do too.
I'm real bright.
Right.
If they don't. And that's fine. But I play to that around certain people, right?
Right.
A lot of people think I'm egotistical and arrogant. So I play to that in certain situations. I had a guy ask me that I know pretty well a couple weeks ago who wants to come on at some point as well. Are you really as arrogant as you come off to be?
Well, yeah.
And I said, well, what do you think? And he's like, I can't see it. I said, I only do that. I said, and what's bad is people can't figure it out. If you can't figure it out, I can't help you because I'm so over the top with that shit. It's like me saying I don't want to break up marriages.
Right.
There are people that would honestly walk away going, I can't believe that guy's that married.
Yeah, right.
Are you shitting me? Have you seen me? I mean, let's be honest, man. I mean, I'm so over the top of that shit.
Right.
That it's a goof. But there are people that actually believe that I could say something like, man, all these women are over here looking at me or I'm this and that. And,
right.
And
well,
like,
I mean,
I talk shit on a basketball court. Have you ever seen me play basketball, Kyle? It's bad. Right. I mean, it's not good. I can't shoot a lick. I'm great with my mouth.
And you're,
I mean, I will melt your brain.
Just yelling out movie titles as you shoot.
I was yelling "boom, baby" just to hit the backboard.
Right? No, right. I'm with you on that. Basketball's not my game.
And I don't talk shit in baseball unless somebody starts it. Unless somebody's running their mouth.
That one I know that I'm bad about because it's one of the few things that I like in my soul. I'm a good baseball player. I will run my mouth.
Right.
I usually don't do it to a mean level unless it start getting barked back and forth.
Personal, right?
Right. But yeah, like goofing around, like the first year that the Expos were in that league,
right?
They had the big meeting at the beginning of the season, and I didn't know anything about anybody, and I was in there, and there are guys that were in that meeting that I know now, and I said, "You guys all need to get together and figure out who's coming in second."
That's what
I pulled the Reggie Miller. That's what Carey thing.
That's what Carey said the first meeting he was in there.
Yeah, I did it too, and they all looked at me like,
Here we go.
Yeah.
Did you back it up?
No, we got second.
See, we backed it up. God.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I was going to say, I know who you played with, too. I was just running my mouth.
I was non-factor on
right.
that team.
My God.
I was the ball boy on a team of all-stars.
Yeah, that team was rough.
But, I mean...
But that place I will run my mouth. The rest of it, no. Like, I'm a decent bowler, but I hang out with guys that are in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So it's like...
Oh, I've heard you're.
What am I going to?
No, I've heard you're a great. I've heard you're a great bowler. I have.
Really?
I mean, it was the guy right outside the alley collecting change.
Right. Look at that guy. He's so good. He
probably would say anything to get a dollar.
Right.
I showed him your picture and said, "Oh, he's good.
Right.
He's good." No, but I did. I've heard that. Man, that guy's he's a good bowler. Like,
I will say that I am good. But the guys that I bowl with, they're great. I am by far, they're 20 and 30 pins better than me. They are
yours? How many pins are you?
215 typically. Yeah, 215, maybe 220, and these guys are
And my boy's full of shit. He doesn't know much about bowling. Then
right. Yeah.
you're average.
Right. I'm okay.
I mean, you're better than average.
Right.
I'm like 78 to 95.
Right.
I'm bad.
Right. Bad. Well, no, that's actually not bad. But
What? What do they say about bowling? So
wait,
golf,
you're taking 78 to 95 as in like just 78
total
to 90?
pins?
Okay, not 178 to 195. No, okay. No, because that's actually not bad at all.
One under close to 200. That would be the highest I've ever bowled in my life.
It'd take an hour. You're an athlete. It'd take an hour.
An hour to do what? Learn how to
get
bowl?
you on the path. You'd be
Really?
Yeah, you'd have 200 within a month.
Are you serious?
Man, I'm good.
So
I can coach. I can coach.
I'm good. He said,
Yeah, I am.
good.
I can't coach.
coach
Again, I'm
bowling.
not. Again, though, I'll say I'm not great, but I am good.
Not a great lover, but I'm good.
No,
bowling.
I'm subpar there. Again, as we talked about earlier, all the women, yeah, they're not like, how about one?
How did I let
How
him
about
get
one
away?
last time? No, they don't say that. They don't say that at all. They're like, this is the last time.
One last hurrah, Kyle.
Right.
Please. I'm
No,
getting
it's
married
more-
tomorrow, Kyle.
Get off. You're heavy. That's usually what I got.
What did they say when you're inside feeling nothing?
I feel nothing.
So what is good in bowling then? I mean, so like you go out and play golf, you say you break 100,
nat-
everybody goes, wow, you're pretty good because only a certain percentage of people can break
Right.
100. What's the number for bowling?
I think the national average is 140, 135, something like that.
So if I went out and bowled a 120, I'm like a
You're
shitty
you're
golfer.
right. Well, no, you're right around the average, national average. But you have to take into account that national average also includes Pete Weber, Mike Albee. You know, these guys that are just unbelievable.
I don't even know who those guys are.
Well, it's because you don't watch any kind of
Do
bowling
you
at all.
watch it on TV?
I have.
It's on
Do
Sundays.
I? I know. Well,
It's on
I know
Sundays
some of
after
those
sport-
guys.
after,
I know a few of them.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Like if we walked in, they'd be like, "Hey, there's Kyle."
It wouldn't be that. There are a couple that would say, "Hey, there's Kyle," but
Have you ever bowled
there's a
anything
number
for
of
money?
there. Huh?
Like money, like semi-pro or anything?
What do you mean?
Have you
Like
bowled
leagues?
for
There's
it?
leagues are about money.
I mean, like for
Tournaments
like,
and
yeah.
stuff. Oh yeah. In a couple of months, I'll be going to nationals
Where?
in Baton Rouge.
For who? Like what age group? Is it an age group or what?
No, it's open.
It's an open?
Yeah, go get it.
Is there an entry fee?
Yeah,
What's the entry fee? If you want to share it.
between $200 and $250, I think.
And you could win. Do you win a card or anything? Do you have to get a card to get on tour or any of that shit?
Well, I'm not on tour. I'm in a tournament.
I know, but how-
two different things. You've got to get a card to be on tour.
You do?
Uh-huh.
Is that
Oh, yeah.
so just every jackass doesn't fucking
Right.
show up
Otherwise,
to it?
just every swinging asshole. Right.
every guy that
Oh yeah.
Are you
I got a
now-
bowling ball and I'm so good. Yeah.
I'm good at bocce ball.
Yeah, there'd
I've
be a
gotta
whole
good
lot
at
of that.
this.
Well, the Nationals is filled with it. I mean, yeah, I've seen guys. You're talking about throwing a 95. I've seen guys throw 95.
In big tournaments?
Oh yeah, U.S. National.
How is that possible? Is that an open? Is that how do they get into that? How do they?
You pay your money and bowl.
Oh, you don't. Have
and
to
if you
qualify?
suck, no qualification. Just
So
go.
maybe our sponsor will sponsor you at the Nationals.
Yeah, I figure that's again pretty likely.
We're gonna see what they say.
We've got a rogue dog. There we go.
Sorry about that. I think he's gonna go in there. I don't want him drinking out of the toilet because it'll kill him because it's got a bunch of poison and shit in it. But
You just keep poison in your toilet.
well, I'm hoping that kills some of the. I don't like to flush, so that urine smell starts to bother people.
You don't like to.
I'm just kidding.
I actually
face was priceless.
because I believed it.
Yeah, remember, I'm the guy that convinced a whole group of people today that I don't like to dress up because I break up marriages.
Oh, that's true. But the urine thing I really bought into.
It's like, man, you might be.
I don't
into
like to
that.
flush. It's just like there's a little mountain of poop in there.
I know. We went through that one time in junior college where somebody plugged it up and it got so bad nobody wanted to unplug it.
I
And we
lived
had
like
to draw
that when I
straws.
was in
It was like
college.
3 weeks, and I had to go unplug that thing, and it was awful.
No, thank you.
It was absolutely. I mean, I can still smell it if I think hard enough about it.
No, I lived.
Which means this has gone off the rails.
It has gone off the rails, but that's okay.
Man, maybe he got arrested.
I hope not.
If we want to take a break,
it might be good for the story, but.
Where are you going, sir?
Right.
Well, I was on my way to my buddy's house to do a podcast about this crazy psycho chick. But, well,
all right, we'll stop for a second. We'll be back.